We are witnessing something special in the NHL right now as the Calder votes are in, and something absolutely historic is going down. Starting with Lane Hutson finishing 5th all-time in rookie scoring, being the first Habs Rookie of the Year since Ken Dryden, but it doesn't end there as Macklin, Celebrini, and Dustin both cap off an incredible draft class that has the NHL on incredible pace for the future. We have to dive into the exact Calder ballot and what this means for the future of not only these teams, but the entire NHL. All that coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into the video, quick reminder, almost 90% of you watching are not subscribed. We have daily videos on all the biggest stories around the league. So hey, if that sounds good to you, hit that free subscribe button. We're getting into the hottest time of year, and I know you guys want to stay up to date. Now, to start this video, Mark, I mean, we got to start by just looking at the ballot. We will be talking a lot about Lane Hutson in this video, but gotta start credit where credit is due to the second and third place vote getters. Honestly, thought Celebrini was going to be second, but Dustin and Macklin Celebrini, again, both having such amazing years, Mark. Again, this just keeps going with the theme that the NHL is, they got a great crop of young players in the league right now. And look, if we start with Dustin, what he did for a rookie goalie was honestly crazy. 53 games, 2.64 GAA, 910 save percentage. Honestly, a lot of fans were saying he didn't get the respect he deserved. Turns out he did from the voters. Former 7th round pick. Doing what he did is amazing. And I think the Calgary Flames are incredibly satisfied with what they have going forward in net.
I mean, the biggest thing with Dustin is we see him come in as a rookie goaltender, almost dragging the Calgary Flames into the playoffs. Just seeing the success that team had with such a young budding star in Wolf is honestly amazing. And I do agree with a lot of people, especially Flames fans. He does not get the credit from a lot of other networks or fans or fan bases from around the NHL because they're not looking at how incredible this kid's been. And honestly, he's going to be an incredible goaltender down the road into the future for the Flames. And I would not be shocked if he dragged them into the playoffs next year.
Yeah, that's the thing with him is like, look, this Flames team, yeah, they got good talent, but in large part, like their success this year, even though they did miss out on the playoffs, it wasn't by much. And Dustin being able to backstop them, he had like a rough stretch here and there in the season, but his consistency was what was so impressive. Yeah, I know he's 24 years old, which is a bit old for a rookie, not really for a rookie goaltender, not for a 7th round pick. Like, again, I know the rookie of the year voting is not based off like how much you defy expectations based on where you were drafted and whatever. It's just based off how good you were that year. But Wolf had that combination of being so unheralded, right, from California, 7th round pick back in 2019 to make his way through the ranks, the AHL to the NHL. Doing what he did is amazing. But Mark, we also got to talk about Macklin Celebrini. Again, a lot of people still had him number one in their hearts, at least. And we look at the ballot. I mean, Celebrini did come third in first place votes, but 11 first place votes, 61 second place. And honestly, somehow after this, I feel like he gets underrated, like for what he did on this Sharks team with such little talent. I know they had Granlund for a while, but he was traded. Toffoli's there too, but 63 points in 70 games, plus the incredible faceoff percentage for a rookie and his defensive mindset as well. Like he was not that bad defensively. Celebrini, if the award was who was going to be the most impactful player over the course of their career, I think he would win. And honestly, the fact he came third is shocking to me, and it just shows how freaking good this class is.
I mean, the top three in this are all going to be franchise players for the teams. One thing with Celebrini is, like you said, and you said it perfectly, if you're looking out the outcome of what these guys are going to be, Celebrini looks like a franchise, a superstar in this NHL. At one point of the year, having the highest face-off percentage from any rookie ever. We've seen him come in on a Sharks team that did finish quite bad in the standings, but still putting up respectable numbers. A great two-way game. Celebrini is going to be phenomenal. Listen, Rookie of the Year, getting the hardware is awesome, but I think the bigger output when looking at this from a Sharks standpoint is Celebrini is going to continue changing this franchise. And yes, he didn't finish in the top two, but I still think he's going to be the best rookie out of this draft class for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, look, shout out to that one writer out of Pittsburgh that had him 5th behind Cutter Gauthier. Anyway, but look, Macklin Celebrini is amazing. Dustin amazing. Again, shout out to Matvei Michkov as well. Even Gauthier, Will Smith, so many talented rookies. And again, the fact that guys like Gauthier, Will Smith, Stankoven, and Bolduc cannot even finish close to the top 3 or 4 is, again, just such a testament to what this is. Michkov, again, in any other year, would probably be 1st or 2nd. So it's just kind of crazy. But on to the crux of this video, and that is Lane Hutson. Now, am I biased? Maybe a little bit, but I think, hey, I would still give my award for best future player to Lane Hutson as well. Yeah, you know what? Look, I'm a Habs fan. So what? Sue me. Right now, Lane Hutson did the unthinkable this year. I mean, look, he was small. We knew he could get points, but doing what he did at his size as a rookie was insane. He's the first Habs Rookie of the Year since Ken Dryden, the only two in the expansion era, putting up 66 points in 82 games. That's enough to be fifth all time in rookie defenseman scoring behind only Larry Murphy, Brian Leetch, Gary Suter, and Phil Housley, and tied for number one in rookie assists for a defenseman, right there with Larry Murphy. Set the Habs record past Chris Chelios. Like, for full season, I think Lane Hutson, again, you have 71 if you include playoffs. I mean, Mark, again, looking at this Habs lineup, Lane Hutson was one of the main reasons they made the playoffs this year, and I think that's what really swayed a lot of voters. Like, holy crap, they made the playoffs, and Hutson was their second leading scorer. To me, he is something unbelievably special. We roll the highlights, some incredible stuff from him. I mean, look, I don't know. I feel like it's still shocking every time I look at these highlights, look at the numbers, to see what he did on a Habs team that, yeah, is on the verge of, turning that corner, but hadn't done it before he got there.
And I mean, I think that's the biggest thing when looking at the top. And before I get into Hudson, looking at the top three, we've seen Dustin Wolf, we've seen Lane Hutson. Both these teams either made the playoffs, almost made it. We see Macklin, Celebrini, and the Sharks. As I said, they stink. I like the Sharks, but we've seen how they didn't really compete with the other teams on top of this list. But looking at Lane's stats, it's been insane. He's a phenomenon. Looking at this kid come in, 60 points over the span. This is a Montreal team that doesn't, yes, they have great players, Nick Suzuki, Slav, but they don't have that elite 100-plus point player. Seeing Lane go out and putting up these stats is awesome to watch. Listen, I'm a Leafs fan. I'm a Canucks fan. Watching this and talking good about the Habs is hard, but Lane Hutson deserves his flowers, and it's really due with how his performance was.
Yeah, and he kind of defied expectations. And, again, his metrics on defense are not the best, but he was not as bad a defender as people thought he would be. And most of his 5v5 metrics when he was bad on defense were when he was paired with David Savard, who is now retired because his body couldn't take it anymore. Shout out to David Savard in retirement. But, that's not going to happen anymore. In this upcoming season, look, the Habs have a lot of left-hand shot defensemen. Alex Carrier is the only full-time defenseman that's a right-hand shot. They might bring up someone like David Reinbacher next year, but Hutson, he played great with Gooley. He played great with Struble. He can play great with anyone. And Mark, I feel like it's not crazy for me to say that this guy, look, am I going to say he's going to be better than Cale Makar? Hard to say that. Makar is one of the best players in the league, right? But when we're talking about points, like, is it crazy to say that Lane Hutson could be a point per game player at least once or twice throughout his career? I feel like with a Habs team that, yeah, had point per game Nick Suzuki, but didn't have that bona fide 90, 100 point guy outside of that. It wouldn't be insane to me to think that in his prime, again, with Ivan Demidov looking like he could be a star in this league, is a point per game out of reach for this kid?
Listen, I want to put out there first, if we're talking best defenseman, Quinn Hughes in the NHL, but getting back to Lane Hutson, the big thing is I think we're going to see a point per game season, even if it's 77 games played, 77 points, 82 games, 82 points. Maybe we see him reach 90-plus points. I think he has this. We're seeing the talent come through Montreal. Like you said, Demidov's there, Nick Suzuki, Slav. These guys are getting better. They're still getting top picks in this draft, or two, at least lottery picks. Coming through this draft, I do think we're going to see at least one, and I would not be surprised if we see 4 or 5, maybe even 6 full point per game seasons from Lane. The scoring's going up. Montreal's getting better. Lane's going to improve. I think there's a very good chance we see a 90-plus point season from Lane Hutson.
It's crazy. I mean, look, regardless of just him in Montreal, like, this whole crop of rookies is unbelievable, and it's looking to be really good next year as well. Again, like, the development of these players is crazy. Like you said, scoring's going up every single day in this league, which also makes what Dustin Wolf did even more impressive. Got to give him his flowers, but let us know your thoughts on everything down below, because the NHL is ready for something special. We're on the verge of some incredible talent coming into this league and dominating. Can't wait to see what it is, but leave your thoughts on all 3 of these guys, or even 4, even more guys that we didn't mention down below, because that'll do it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, because we got news coming every single day. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.